Hi, and welcome back to Rising Tales and Talks as we journey together in this vague world we call life. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy or relate to the topic that we discuss. Let's rise from the ashes of our present to create a better tomorrow. I am Seraphina Stardust, and let's begin. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's about whether you get back up. This quote is brought to you by Vince Lombardi. Revisiting the ideas that one has not succeeded in is one of the most daunting tasks any one of us can ever undertake because we've already failed. And because we know we've already failed, it's what makes it harder to tackle the problem that we are tackling again. Because we all know to fail is our first attempt in learning. But what we don't always understand is that failure is our first attempt in learning under real life expectations. And real life is the most daunting thing one of us can ever tackle. And it doesn't matter if we are someone who is attempting to pick our lives back up after we have lost everything. It doesn't matter if we are someone who's attempting to be financially independent after being dependent on somebody for years. And it sure as hell doesn't matter if we are someone wanting to go into business and stay into business and are not having the best of luck just staying in business and making those ideas a reality. For me, I'm looking to YouTube once more. And for myself, it's not so much that my ideas have failed. I have failed myself. And failing oneself is more scary than your ideas failing. And when you fail yourself, you really need to work a lot harder to get back up again and prove to yourself that you've got what it takes to be the best you that you want to be. And we all get in our own ways. I personally get in my own way more often than I care to admit to myself. And now I have my own mental struggles that I have to overcome to fight myself to be the best me that I want to be, which is a lot more than a lot of other people have to fight, usually. But fighting is just half the battle up that damn freaking hill. Because nothing in life is worth it if it's not worth fighting for. And I knocked myself down, and what I didn't realize was this dazed, sleepwalking like version of myself had taken over. And so here's the true me on the ground, dazed, while some other version of myself is going about my daily life. And that's what a lot of us don't realize, that the real versions of ourselves are on the ground, maybe in a hole the shape of our body, depending how hard we knocked ourselves silly. And we have this metaphorical pressure pressing us into the ground. And sometimes, depending what it is that we are attempting to do, the pressure could just be ever so slightly increasing pushing us ever so slightly further into the ground where we don't even notice that our body hole is becoming deeper and deeper and deeper. And we could probably compare that weight to gravity. The one natural force that keeps us on this planet. That pressure we feel could be our minds naturally, figuratively taking said gravity and making us think the gravity is a lot more intense than it actually is. And for any anime fans out there, reference Dragon Ball Z. And even if you're not an anime fan, just look up Dragon Ball Z. Goku and Vegeta both train in chambers in various seasons that increase gravity. So think about it like that. What those two train under is what we figuratively do to ourselves. And because it's all figurative, it makes it harder to notice. But it took me until June of 2024, the month I'm making this second video for my rebranded channel, to realize I personally have been in that state, and I don't know how long I have been in that state for. I cannot tell you the exact moment I knocked myself down and ended up in that state. For all I know, I've been in that state since childhood, with only brief periods of waking up, and I would not know that unless I had been journaling on a daily basis. And staying on a strict journaling routine, isn't always something we all can do. I just know I was alive, and I was physically present for everything, including things for my children. But I wasn't mentally or emotionally there. The version that took over my mind and my body turned off my awareness, I guess is the best way that I can put it, and just made me be there. That's it. Emotionally numb, mentally numb, but physically there doing it all. The only thing that this worst, bad version of myself couldn't do was prevent emotions from slipping through the cracks and having my moments of, wow, this is genuinely funny. Back to numbness. That's about all I can say that I'm aware of for emotions slipping through. But you'll get more of my story as I go through. I don't want to make this all about me. This is about all of us. So, but what matters the most is that we realize that we have been knocked down, and that we need to get our butts in gear and get the hell back up. That's about all we gotta do, is realize we have to get up and then do it. And fight that battle to get up. And logic is not always going to be your best friend in this case. And why I say that is for the simple fact that logic will give us all the reasons not to get back up. I'm too tired. I hurt. Well, this has never worked before. This, that, and the other thing. What other excuses are out there? What we need to do is let ourselves get angry. And when we're angry, we can be impulsive. And that anger impulsiveness will help us get the hell back up and figure out what it is we gotta do to get back up and help us keep our focus. And then, once we're up and we start walking away from that hole we just pulled ourselves out of, then we can let our logic take back over and become more rational and start looking at things. But we cannot let our logic take us to the point that we start overthinking things. Because overthinking will bring that figurative, bad version of ourselves back to knock us back down. I myself am guilty of overthinking. And my overthinking is what brought my figurative, bad version of myself out and knocked me the hell down. And overthinking is just a very bad circular loop that you never want to be in, because, well, circles go on forever. They just go around and around and around and around. They don't have an escape, off-ramp into logic and reason. I won't say I've mastered any of this. It's why I'm here. It's why I'm talking about it. I can listen to motivational speakers all day long. I can listen to Ryan Holiday on stoicism all day long, not get bored, not get tired. But listening and acting are two different things. Listening is passive. Passive doesn't get you anywhere. It's stationary. If you want to accomplish anything, even if it's just living to a ripe old age surrounded by family, you have to be active. You don't have to go out and win the Nobel Peace Prize. You don't have to go be president. You don't have to travel the world. Those goals aren't meant for everybody. But being passive is not human in nature. It's the easy way out. And as you'll hear from every single person out there, nothing worthwhile in your life is easy. And I will second that. I could listen to all the audiobooks in the world on self-improvement, self-help, but being able to put what they say into practice isn't always great. You gotta find what works for you to help you get back up in this world. What I say, what anybody says, take it with a grain of salt. Because none of us have a cure-all for how to beat ourselves and beat the worst version of ourselves into submission so we can be the best versions of ourselves. And change, yeah, it's scary. Just getting back up is a change. To be active is a change, and it's always scary. The journey will always be scary. There is no non-scary journey or anything out there. Unless you're just going to stay at home in front of a TV, in front of a computer, and do nothing. That's not what this world is. It's not scary. And that's not including all the things you hear on the news. So, and before we leave today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell